Welcome back to my channel and don't forget to share, subscribe and like. Today we are going to study the living world adaptation and classification part 5. In our last lecture we see the adaptation in animals of snowy region and aerial animals. Today we see the adaptation in reptiles. Children, you know that the snake, earthworms, house lizard, garden lizards, crocodile are the reptiles animals. Snake creep with the help of scale on their skin. Some reptiles use their muscles for creeping. The examples are house lizard, garden lizard, crocodile. Skin and soles of feet are specially modified for creeping mode. Examples are house lizard and monitor lizard. Body color shows camouflage to hide with the surroundings. Let's see adaptation for food in animals. Children, you know that animals are either herbivorous and carnivorous. Few are omnivorous. According to their feeding, there are some special adaptations. Now we see adaptation for blending with the surroundings. Children, do you know we cannot easily spot colorful butterflies, lizards and grasshoppers because their color blend with those of their surroundings. From this, we say that the changes that take place in the various organs and life processes of organisms that enable them to live, feed, reproduce, to perpetuate themselves and protect themselves from their enemies in specific surroundings, depending upon the habitat and its geographical conditions, are called adaptations. Let's see Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin was a well-known evolutionary biologist. After observation of many plants and animal species, he suggested theory of natural selection. Let's see the Darwin's first principle, that is the survival of the fittest. Those organisms which are best adapted to changing environment are likely to survive, called as theory of survival of the fittest. Let's see Darwin's second principle, that is theory of natural selection. If an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristics and is able to survive, this change is preserved in the next generation, called as theory of natural selection. Now we see classification of living organisms. It is necessary to classify the living things because it is difficult to study and remember all the diverse organisms in this world. Different scientists have used different criteria and gave the methods of classification. Let's see hierarchy of classification. Classification starts with kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae. Then, depending upon the basic similarities and differences, their further groups and subgroups are formed. This is known as hierarchy of classification. Kingdom, phylum, division, class, order, family, genus and species are the sequences of the classification system. Now we see the binomial nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus. Binomial nomenclature is used to identify each organisms. This method was suggested by Carl Linnaeus. Every living organism has given uniform name throughout the world, called as scientific name. Scientific name consists of two parts. The first part is genus and second is species. As per the guidelines of the International Code of Nomenclature, every organism has a binomial name. All the organisms of a species are so similar that irrespective of differences in color, height, habitats and habits, they can reproduce among themselves and form new individuals like themselves. For example, all domestic cats in the world belong to the same species. Let's see some examples of scientific name of the organisms. In this table, we give the living things and their scientific name. In this table, we have given the living things and their scientific name. Dog, scientific name is Canis lupus familiaris. Cow, scientific name is Bos taurus. Hibiscus, scientific name is Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Jawar, scientific name is Sorghum bicolor. Human, scientific name is Homo sapiens. Mango, scientific name is Magnifera indica. Thanks for watching my video and don't forget to subscribe, share and like.